and the boy. I got the doggies. So, for the second in-program lesson, the way we typically do it is we test out things, right? So we take, like, because I saw your list, and so I've been working on that stuff, and we did give her a bath today, right? We figured out what happened. She laid in the dirt. It's been raining so much in the play yard. There's gravel, but also like sometimes they dig up a spot. Yeah. And she got it on her underside. Yeah, but we gave her a bath today, so she's pretty good, and we've been giving her extra food. So she's been eating all of it. Yeah. That's about the best we can do. We got both of them here. So I think I saw one of the things that you had on there was for Ramsey going around corners and trash bins and stuff like that.
Yes. I left the bins out to try and simulate it.
That's perfect.
And there's a blind corner right over there.
Okay.
There's a huge tree.
Yeah.
And, it usually happens in those people like block it and
Yeah. So that's actually why we do the second in-program session typically. Like the first one, like sometimes we still do part because it's mostly just like we're kind of talking more than anything else, updating you on the program, teaching you about basic dog training stuff so you guys can use it when you get home. Yeah. But the second in-program lesson, like where Roxy and Ramsey spend the majority of the time. Right here, yeah. Not at the park, not at the store. It's important they be able to go to all those places and that they learn to like live everywhere. But they're going to spend like 95% of their life right here. Right? So if they can't do it right here, then that's going to be a little bit frustrating, right? Which is also the reason why we do in-home like context stuff at our place. We do like living room stuff. So I actually did a session last night with them. Pretty late last night actually. It was like 11 p.m. We were just hanging out watching. I was watching a show, and I had them both together off leash in just like the living room area, and I just did random stuff for them, right? So I did plays. The way I was. I did start, like, I said it in the video, like, I can't promise that they'll be 100% on this. Just like, I can't promise that anybody will be 100% on, like, things, even people. And it's even more so with their dogs, right? Is trying to help them distinguish between their names with the commands. So, I was doing a drill with the place cots, where they're on the place cots, and I release one at a time, and have them come out to me. I realized that the last 20 minutes of it, my camera overheated, and so I missed the last 20 minutes, but I got the first 40. That's good. And then just like holding a place cot stay with both of them there, and being able to release one and the other one stays. And then being able to leave the room, which they did successfully. Roxy got up the first time, and I saw her through the peephole, and I came out and, penalized it and put her back. But then, like, I went and made ramen, used the bathroom, came back, they were still on place. Right? So I was away for like 5 or 6 minutes, and they both stayed on place. So they're doing really good with that. But the reason we like to do it here is because then we can take each one of your home-specific stuff and say, all right, let's try it, see how it looks. And then, worst-case scenario, I say, all right, on the go-home lesson, we'll work on it again if they don't do well. And worst-case scenario, well, all this other training happened, they're doing great across the board. If they have an issue with one thing here, I tell you exactly what to do about it.
Right? There are some corners that they texted us. So our dog is not allowed on the furniture. Whether there are lots of play inside, outside, just outside.
Yeah.
How your dog should be around guests.
Yeah, so some things like we can talk about. Yeah. So you said, okay, not allowed on the furniture. Yeah. Yeah, so one of the things that, like in some of the earlier videos, you'll see we left them on the furniture. There's a reason, right? I wanted to explain. It's not that we just because we saw the intake, and the reason that we sometimes do it is because there are certain blocks they can sometimes have when we're first working with them, and so especially inside in home context, not all dogs immediately want to play hard. Ramsey didn't, right? He did later. He wanted to play fetch, play stuff. There's a couple of videos of him playing with another retriever, a Simba. Yeah, so we had him playing and doing stuff. But sometimes at first, the only thing I can get them to be all right, I feel good now, I'm happy, is let them on the couch and sit with them and pet them, right? So I'm using that as a motivational tool. Mm-hmm. But the good thing is that it's very easy to then not allow them on furniture, Because then all I have to do is, and you'll see in some of the later videos, I just penalize it. Like if they go to get up there, I'm like, like don't get up here. All right, and then I just let them settle on the floor or walk around.
Another thing we like to try is we did try
the cots or the e-collar.
The e-collar.
Yes. I'll need to show you exactly how to use it. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's something that's included in every program. Because if you don't know how to use the equipment, it's kind of like I taught your dog Spanish, right? And you didn't speak Spanish at all, let's say, hypothetically, or like German or something like that. And then I'm like, here you go. Like, doesn't help me at all. I don't speak German, So that's why I have to show you how to use it. Do you mind grabbing it?
Sure.
Yeah. And did you get 2 of them or 1?
We got the 2 in 1.
The 2-in-1? Woo! Nice. That'll make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, I figured we'd need one for both.
Yep. And it makes it easier if you only have 1 remote. Yeah. Because I've done the other thing. That's what I was doing yesterday. Because I don't even have a 2-in-1 that I use very often.
Okay.
I just end up using, because we have a bunch of individual ones, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
So I have one that's on the finger, and then I have the other one that's just in my pocket. So that way it's not too crazy for me to use both.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had like 2, like, where I was like,
Yeah, you can't mix them up.
yeah, I've hit the wrong one before. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Very nice. And then normally it comes with like a little setup guide thing, like a little packet. Really nice. These are the best e-collars.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. We used to let people get cheap ones. No longer.
Not anymore.
No, because they make a big difference. I found that out the hard way, like, because we wanted to like make it easier for people to get it. Actually, a long time ago, we used to like provide the e-collar, we would give it as part of the program, but like we weren't selling the programs for a higher price.
Yeah.
And so then we were having to get like a $40 e-collar. But these, although more expensive, they actually feel different.
Okay.
Right? So they're blunt instead of sharp, which is important. Yeah. All right.
Is this like that clicker you have? Or are you sure it's supposed to be?
No, that's just a straight mechanical clicker. I never use them because we just use verbal markers, but they're for, right? See if they like sit and like they do good and they're like, hey, you get a treat, but we don't really do that at all. So, because it's inconvenient. It's one more thing you have to carry. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to check this out real quick because I don't use the 2-dog ones that often. Because I want to make sure we put it in the right mode. I can see that. Is it charged up? Yes. Perfect. The other thing that I recommend you get is like a little, like a keyring. Mm-hmm. Get a keyring and then get a carabiner. A carabiner. I'll show you in a second. It's like it's like a hook, and that way you can clip it to things. Because that way you're not walking around holding this, and where do you put the, like, if you have 2 leashes, as an example, if you're walking them on leashes, problematic. So first things first, I'll switch the mode here. You want to leave it on C typically. The other thing is you just hold this button down, you long hold it, and it'll turn on and off. Off. On. And then to turn the collars on, you do a little red dot here. So like the male end, and then you have the receiver end, where with that you'll see on the face of it, it's got lit up green. Yeah. And then here, same thing. So now they're both on. And then you see down at the bottom where it says 2D?
Yeah.
It's 2 dogs. Right? So that's the difference between the two. And so now, if I press the T button, it switches mode, now it's 1 dog. Switching. So now it's on 2 dogs now. So you want to leave it on 2 dogs. Unless you're only using it one. Right? And then, yep. So here, see it says if it's blinking. The solid icon right here. If it's solid like that, that means it's locked on a certain thing. So if it displays 0, it means no stimulation, timing, and high stimulation. Right? So you're here, 0, and it can go all the way up through to 99, and then it says high. Which you will never, ever, ever use once that goes. Neither of them use that.
What do you have it on?
For them, it depends on context, so don't get stuck on a number, right? So more what matters is their reaction, right? So if they're like, they just don't even feel it, then like whatever. If they do feel it, and it's effective, like they either like reorient towards you and like look for you to like give them a command. If they like not listen to something, or ow. Oh, I was wondering, I'm like, is that because like I'm used to having it. Sometimes there's like an ant that crawls on me or something, but now I realize I was being poked. Yeah. But for Ramsey, like a 15. Yeah, maybe a little higher, but it just depends on the circumstance, but not normally. That's very low. You'll barely feel 15. And then for Roxy, it's wildly variable, depending on the situation. So like, it could be anywhere from like a 20 to like a 60. It totally depends on the context for her. Ramsey, it's like pretty steady in that range, like 15 to 20. Roxy, it's like depends on what she's thinking about. Like if she's like kind of chilling and whatever, then like if you did a 60, she'd be like, ah! And you like that's completely unnecessary, right? But if she's like looking over there and then like running over there and looking at stuff, and then you did a 20, she'd probably blow it off if she wasn't listening already. Right? So it just kind of depends on the circumstance. Yeah. So then you have the 2 stimulation modes, momentary continuous. You'll always want to have it on for the most part. And then if you have 1 dog or 2 dogs, right? So 2 dogs, this is dog 1. Yes. And then dog 2 is this one. And that's pretty much all you need to know. There's other like fun functions you can do, right? But it's color coded. Yeah, I believe. Let me check real quick. That it should be. Yep. Color coded. Yep, that looks good. Yep. And then let's see. Only one other thing I'm trying to remember with these. One other thing that you will need to do is you have the box. These 2 here we will need to change the contact points out for both of them. It should have come with longer contact points, and I'll show you how to change them out. Both of them will need the longer ones because they have lots of foot. Yeah. So the reason is because these need to make contact in order for it to work properly. And if you have lots of hair, you have one of two problems. Either they don't make contact and so it doesn't work, or they do make contact but you're choking the life out of your dog because you have to make it so tight to get these to touch, right? But the longer contacts make it where you can make it tight enough for it to touch without choking your dog. There we go. And there should be like a little tools here. And they're both chilling in the cab. They're not in the, there's nobody in the back. You can open it up and go say hi if you want. She's like, oh my God, what am I doing? That crate is just barely big enough for her. That's why only for very short-term transport would I do that. Yeah, I figured it was better to put her in a little bit smaller crate in there than to put her in the back. She'd probably be more comfortable because some dogs don't like riding in the back of the truck in like a crate. Sometimes it freaks them out. Ramsey's in the other one around the side. Yeah, I keep the AC blasting. Gotta keep them cool. I actually want to get one of these at some point pretty soon.
The 2-dog?
Yeah, the 2-dog. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's compatible with my finger trainer, but I'm not sure. Alright, so you got 2. The last thing that I want is and just put it right here on your bicep. And so what I'll do is I'll walk it up for you. If you scream, I'll laugh at you, so don't scream. My wife did. It was funny. So I do it with everybody that's going to use it. So that's a 5. You guys let me know when you guys feel it. Feel it? It's really light. That's a 10. And then I'll go up a little bit more. That's a 15. Right? So you feel it a little bit. Yeah, and then it kind of depends on where it is, right? So if it's like right here versus right here, you'll feel something completely different, right? So like right here, because it's not touching any big muscle, right? So what does it do? It feels a little stingy. If it's right here, it'll actually just make your muscle go. It'll just contract your muscle, right?
Is there a certain place you recommend?
Yes. Typically on the left side. Right around here. There are 2 reasons. One is because you want to avoid down here just because it's not a very effective place to have it. And if it slings around there, it's nice because you can know that it's never there. Because if it is there, it just means it's too loose. If you don't strap it up there, then like if it falls down there, it's like, okay, it's not even close to tight enough. It's not going to work. The other reason is because when you are walking in a heel, if you press this, right, if it is on the right, so you think like, say, like you're heeling from me, and you have it here. If I press this, and you feel something here, where are you going to move? Into it or away from it?
Right.
Yeah. So if it's on the left, will they move away from you or toward you? Towards you. Yeah. And so you want them to come in closer, so you don't want them to have to not only go into the position, but also fight the e-collar, right? The natural kind of push away that they're getting. So what we'll do is probably do a couple of things on that list first. So which one do you want to start with? Do you have a preference? Something? Let's start like whatever's the most important to you. We'll start with that. Oh, and Ramsey is fully off leash. Yeah. He because we had taken him off leash like that morning that we met up with you guys before, and Connor took him off leash again this morning, and he also got a really nice heel with Ramsey. So you guys will see that video coming up soon. We're like, I do all of our video editing right now, so we're like maybe running like 6 days behind or something like that, like 5 or 6 days, because I have to do it normally at night after training. So, yeah.
I guess we could do some off-leash Angier.
Okay.
Bring them in.
And then we can try the thing with Ramsey potentially, or
Okay. Because what we really struggle with is that we're always inside with them.
it's them behaving themselves inside.
Yeah, them behaving inside, and Ramsey is typically always out. He's not crated every.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any accidents in the house. He's generally well behaved.
He doesn't have accidents in the crate or in the house. Yeah, because we've done both. We've had him crated sometimes just because he tolerates crating really well.
Yeah.
And like, especially when it's been hot, like he's got a lot of fur and he doesn't really like it, and he gets tired and he doesn't want to train. So it's like we end up having him either walking around in the living room or in the crate a lot of the time while he's with us. But yeah, he's never had an accident one time ever.
How did Roxy do with her accident?
The only accident Roxy has had actually in a crate since she's been with us, and she has spent overnight in the crate, probably a total of maybe 7 days out of all of it, not in a row, but like 7 days like spread out. And because she had the same issue with she'd get really hot outside and not want to be out there anymore, and then because she's so active, she'll like run back and forth for like 6 or 7 hours out of the day, and it's like, dude, like you can't. She tires herself out, then she doesn't feel like training, and their training's all flat. So we've had to keep her crated sometimes so that she's not like exhausting herself. And that's also part of what will, like even if we're feeding her more than what was originally put on the bag, she still ends up burning so many calories that she like doesn't keep up with her growth weight-wise. So the only time she has done anything is she's knocked her water bucket over inside of the crate. Yeah, she'll knock the bucket over. That's a very common thing with German Shepherds. They actually drive me bananas with that because like we end up having like 8 gallons of water in the outdoor pens, and we refill them like several times a day. We dump them out and refill them and like, clean the bucket out. And Shepherds, including Roxy, will just go and like knock like 2 or 3 of them over. I'm like, bro, why? So she does that. So she did that in the crate, and then she was all wet. Yeah, because like she probably did it in the middle of the night, and then.
So we do want to test having them both out together in the living room because before she went to training, we essentially just kept her crated.
Yeah, she was bananas.
And then we would
in the house.
Yeah, and then we would let her.
It might be
take her outside so that she can go crazy. But we don't want her going crazy in the house.
Yes. You want to at least be able to be like, hey, knock it off.
Yeah.
Right? Because like they're gonna get hyper in the house sometimes. Right? They're dogs.
Yeah.
I get angry sometimes. I'm a person,
Yeah.
right? Like I try really hard. Like I control my impulses and my anger. But like every once in a while I get angry. You know, or like other emotions. Like sometimes I get sad, and sometimes I get hyped. Right? Me too, actually. I don't know if you can tell. So it's gonna happen. The real thing that you need is to be able to tell her to stop and it be effective. And a lot of that's going to be dependent on how you do it. So what we can do is we can go in, I can demonstrate it, and then I can show you how to do it and have you do it. If she does get hyped up, which I think she will, right? So we'll be able to work on that for you and show you how to do what's called the calm liberty window. So I think about context in a dog's life is like looking through a window pane, right? So you got a window like that one, and if you look at it, you got how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4. Big squares. It's cut in the middle. If you look at the top left square, that is find your own fun. That's when you let her go have a great time. She's free and she can go nuts. It's good to spend time in that window. That's important, right? And it can also happen like on a walk. If you have a flexi or a long line or you're off leash, then go nuts, right? Then have a great time. And then you can call them back. And you can put them in another window. If you look at the top right window, we could call that the obedience window. That's the work window. So what's your guess? When is the obedience or work window? What does that describe? The obedience window or the work window?
They're listening to us.
It's very narrow. It's only when you ask them to do a particular command, right? So if you compare those two, which one do they probably spend a lot more time in than the other? Do they spend more time in the find your own fun window where they're just free to like kind of do stuff, or do they spend more time in the obedience or the work window?
I think Roxy's probably more in the obedience window, which is Angie
Reverse, yeah. Well, and that's why you have the other two, because he probably doesn't spend more time in the find your own fun window than the other one. For Ramsey, he probably spends more time in that bottom left one, which is the calm liberty window, which is what you need in the house. That's what I'm going to teach you how to do. So calm liberty is this. You're not in command. I didn't ask you to sit. I didn't ask you to down. I didn't ask you to place. I didn't ask you to do anything. But you got to be chilled out. You can't be like, you got to be like settled, right? Which is what most people would love to have with their dogs, is that they have them in the house, but they don't have to crate them or put them on place for like 7 hours in a row just so that they can like function in the house and have their dog out. They want to be able to like say, you know, sometimes like tell them like, hey, like cool it, go on place, put them on place, let them stay on place and sleep there for a little bit, get them off and tell them, hey, like you're free, but like just calm, right? You know? And then the fourth window is the find fun with me window. And that's when you're playing with them. Playing a game, playing tug, playing fetch, playing snappies and clappies, which is just, you guys are having fun together, right? So you're in one of those windows. That's exhausting. That covers the entirety of every second of every dog's life. The whole life, they're going to be in one of those windows. There's nothing outside of it. So the question is whether or not you, one, can cue them into a particular window. And then if you do that regularly, consistently, you cue them into the windows. Dogs are smart. They will find patterns. Ramsey is older and is an overall like really like nice dog, and he has probably learned a lot about your patterns. So he didn't really have much of an obedience window. It was okay, but the other three windows were much better, right? So like he could kind of read context, read the room, and be like, all right, right now we're not doing anything. We're just kind of hanging out, and I'm just going to hang, right? Or right now I can run around and have an awesome time because this is the right context for that, right? Like go in the backyard, sprint around like a maniac for a few minutes until he's tired, and then come back in, right? And he knows the context, which window he can be in, right? Roxy had no idea at all of any context. For her, any context could be the top left, the find your own fun window. Any context. It could be in the house. It could be when you're trying to go to sleep. It could be literally anytime could be Zumi's time for Roxy, right? And so that's what we need to be able to like have you consistently enforce is cue when you guys don't want that, and then having times when like go for it, right? And her being able to read that context, and then over time, if you cue it consistently every time, she will then do it herself.
Cueing it is about like bringing her place, having her do that.
So the way that you do the find your own fun window is simple. If you say, okay, and you guys are in a proper context for it, and she goes and starts sprinting around, woohoo! She's having fun, right? Same thing with like, okay, and you're playing with her, great, you've cued that window. She's in that window now, she's find her own fun, she's going and doing stuff. In the house, you say okay, and you say okay, and you say, like, you know, you're free, and then she goes to go freely do things. You can think about it like a husband and wife. My wife often indicates to me that things are not something she'd prefer by punishing her somehow, right? Now, this is not like a domestic abuse situation here, I promise. It's very normal. People do it all the time. It can be something very simple, something like stay, right? That's a punishment, right? That's like a negative reinforcement, right? Like, you know, and then you start to learn like, hey, like those things are not okay. Don't do those things. These other things like are totally fine to do, right? So you're basically like free shaping. So as life goes, Roxy does things you don't like in the house. You go, don't do that. No. And if she kind of like, and then she kind of chills out and like walks around and maybe she goes and lays down or something like that, great. Because she's still free. She's not in command. You didn't give her command. But she's chilled out. And then if she doesn't chill out at all, right, after you go, then you might have to put her on place. And like wait until she settles and be like, dude, like chill. And then like let her off and then be like, easy. Right? Enough. Just walk around, be easy, be cool. Right? So we'll do that now. I'll show you how to do it. Yeah, and you, wherever the easiest place to go in the house is fine.
Well, like when he got Ramsey never went upstairs.
Okay.
Ramsey's never.
He was so nervous.
I conditioned him to never go.
Okay.
Roxy, I think he was also just more of a shy dog, so he got Roxy,
We'll sprint up and down the stairs probably?
she'll go up and she'll run from us.
Right, the running from you thing, that's a very frustrating problem, right? And like, so Roxy's a puppy and she's still going to try that. She will do that to you. She will try it. The difference between before and after training is two things. One, she has commands that she understands. And she understands how to respond when you either penalize or when you use negative reinforcement, right? And she knows that it's not going to just magically disappear if she goes and runs away or hides or something like that. It's going to continue until she follows the command, right? She has to go do the thing, right? And so dog training isn't about programming like a computer, because they're biological organisms. You can't, right? They're going to do dumb things. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to try stuff that doesn't work. Well, it shouldn't. You shouldn't let it work for them. They're going to do things. But the big difference between an untrained and a trained dog is you have a language now. You can communicate with the dog. And you can take things that you like or that you don't like and communicate that clearly to the dog. Whereas before training, you're just out there like, dude, please, like, stop doing that, right? And it's like really irritating. Whereas after the training, you should be able to be confident and say, I know what to do about this, right? And have that language that you can communicate with it, right? So, like in that case, she does that to me every once in a while, and I'll just, and if like, and I'll say come, and if she doesn't come, I'm going to tap the ego, right? And then if she like, say like she went and like hid or something like that and was like acting like, no, I'm not going to let her get away with that. I'm going to go grab her by the collar and be like, let's go, and then I'm going to put her on place. Like, you can't do that, right?
Yeah. So she'll be wearing the collar.
What I would recommend, especially for Roxy, yeah, definitely, especially Roxy. Ramsey, up to you. He does listen pretty well in the house already. Roxy does too, but she needs reinforcement every once in a while, especially with you guys. She's gonna need it. So just have her. I would have her wear it throughout the day, every day for a while, until you're confident that, like, if you get to a point where, like, you haven't been using this, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if, like, you're using this, like, once every 2 or 3 days, if you don't have to use this at all, and she's just listening to you, like, out of habit, then you might start testing, like, hey, like, maybe I just won't put it on her today and see how she, like, and if she does fine, great. The other reason for that, and this one's big, is, say that you were Roxy. I used you last time, so I don't want to use you again. Say that you were Roxy, and, like, I had this collar, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I asked you to do something, you didn't listen to me. I went and got this collar, and I went and I put it on you, and I asked you to do it again, and you didn't do it, and then I went, and then kept it on for 30 minutes. Seemed like you were doing good now, and so then I take the collar off, and, like, that's it. What are you going to think about this? Yeah, and also, you're going to know this thing. This is what does it. Not me. This. So then, where's the power? Here. Not here. You need it to be not this, but you. If you want to be able to eventually not use this very often, or maybe sometimes not even have them wear it, it needs to be you, not a device. You don't want to be dependent on this forever, ideally, right? So if I, in the morning, every morning, came and was like, hey, Roxy, and, like, say you were in a crate or you weren't in a crate, whatever, and I, like, you know, I came and put this on you in the morning, and then, like, was like, oh, good job, and then, like, we, like, did other stuff, and, like, everything's cool, and then, like, I asked you to come, and you came, and everything was cool, and da-da-da-da, and then you were asked to, like, down or come or whatever it is. You didn't do it. I went, You still didn't do it, so I went, and tapped the e-collar. And you went into the down, and I said, okay, good girl, good job. And then you guys went, and then, like, the rest of the day, you still had this on, and maybe it got used, like, 2 more times. And then maybe at the end of the night, it gets taken off, right? Because it should be taken off at night, but on the truck. Then how do you think about the collar? Doesn't mean anything. It has no correlation with the event, right? This is on all the time, right? So, like, this doesn't mean anything. They're not what's called collar-wise. It doesn't mean anything to them. Instead, the thing they'll connect with the event is not, oh, they put the collar on and then this bad thing happened. But you said, that's what made this happen, right? So then it's not the collar, it's you. That's why another really important thing is, because this is a really bad habit a lot of people have, don't do this. Roxy, Ramsey, don't do that, right? Because this, now you're taking the power that should be you and giving it to this. What if you don't have this? Now you're like, hey, Ramsey, no. And Ramsey's like, well, I don't see the thing. I'm good, right? I can see by your faces maybe you did it. Yeah? You do that? Yeah. It's okay. Lots of people do that because it's a way that they think, like, what they're doing is using the sight of this as the same thing as an eye. Right? This becomes a conditioned thing where they see this, and then if you show this to them and they don't listen, then you tap it. So then what do they tie to the feeling of the e-collar? The sight of this one, right? That's why I have it clipped here on the carabiner, or I have it in a pocket like this, and then I say, and I tap this. They don't even know this thing exists, ideally. This means nothing, right? They never see it. They never think about it. Ideally, they think you're like you have, like, demigod powers, and you can go, and they're like, oh my God, how did you do that? You know, like, that's what you want to have them feel, right? Any questions about that? No? Okay. Yeah. I'm glad I got to go over that because then you, like, you know, 5 days from now, 10 days from now, after they come home, they'll be like, if I don't have the thing, they don't listen, they'll be frustrated. And so we can head that off by teaching you. Right? So.
They have it going on already?
No. I will, let's see, take Roxy out first. And then I can grab Ramsey and take Ramsey out. Do you guys have a little keychain thing? Like just one of those little metal circles? Because it comes with a, yeah, I hate those. Don't use those. Unless you like it. That's like a thing where you put it around your neck, and then it's going to like flop everywhere. Yeah. I don't know why this thing's closed. This is something that's dirty. Maybe I'll call him. No good at it. I'm nobody. I'm just a dude.